What a way to open up the stadium as we check in with our Unrivaled Postgame show here from Ross-Ade Stadium at Purdue. Brian Tripp and senior quarterback Sean Clifford. And Sean, where do we start with that football game? How would you describe it?
Crazy. It was, first game of the year. Lots of ups, lots of downs, lots to correct. But at the same time, just glad we got the win. That's all that really matters. So,
how does your experience play off in a game like this?
I think that 2 minute, just calming everybody down, calming myself down as well, and just, executing 1-0 every single play. And that's what we did. We practiced 2 minutes so much in the off season. So it's good to see it come to fruition in a big game like this.
All right, we're going to run through that last drive right here. We have all the highlights from the last scoring drive. Can you take us back through the plays and how you guys went down the field and what you did to set it up?
Yeah, it's pretty easy when you have a guy like Mitch Tinsley and you just give him the ball. But started off with that. Tyler Warren making a big catch here on a little pump fake play that we run. And then they brought cover 0 here. We were on tempo. Just had to buy a little bit of time so that way Kevon could work. And it was just history after that. But, kudos to the O-line. As you can see, the protection's there. That's not them. That's cover 0. So just kind of making a play in crunch time and, exciting.
282 yards, 4 touchdowns, 20 of 37 on the game. And you said cover 0. That was something that was emphasized all week because Purdue's going to give you that look. So what were you trying to see against that look and how'd you take advantage of it?
Yeah. We had 2 touchdowns versus cover 0 tonight. So it was exciting to see all the offseason work kind of come full circle. We worked really hard on cover 0. It beat us last year, to be honest with you. So, making sure that, I'm doing my best to put us in the best place possible. And I thought we took advantage of it tonight.
You talked about the synergy that you had with Mitch here in game number 1. How do you feel like that developed throughout the offseason, and where do you feel like you were at here for the first game?
Yeah, I thought that, we all had, some really great plays. I thought that we definitely had more on the table. That's definitely my number 1 reaction. But I thought that, sometimes you just got to get a win, and that's what we did tonight. So it just feels good to do that.
We just saw Brenton's catch there going into the locker room at the end of the first half. And I know the message always is to finish. You guys finished the first half strong and you finished the second half strong. How can this help carry you guys forward into week 2?
That's a great play by Jerry, by the way.
That's sick, isn't it?
Yeah, that's awesome. But honestly, it's just one of those where you just got to keep stacking, keep grinding. And I think that the momentum is huge. Just to be able to make a few plays to win that game. I wouldn't want it any other way.
You mentioned Dre right there. For a guy who in the beginning of the game struggled a little bit, to stay engaged, to stay part of this team, what did it mean to see him make that big play for your team in the second half?
That's who he is. He's a battler. He hasn't always had it his way. And I think that he would tell you that first, but he's always grinded, always been there for the team. And I think that, it was on display tonight.
And that shows your trust in him as well.
Absolutely. I have all the trust in one.
Sean, really appreciate it. Congrats on a great win. I'm not sure how we top this. We can't do this every week, can we?
No, I prefer not, but let's just keep winning.
All right, Sean, really appreciate it. Congrats on a great week 1.
Thank you.
Sean Clifford, Penn State quarterback, after the Nittany Lions defeat Purdue 35-31 in an absolute down-to-the-wire game here tonight. We'll roll back through some of those offensive highlights as well here. Coach Franklin's going to join us and Joey Porter Jr. in a little bit, but Sean Clifford and the Penn State offense really using that play-action game early. They got the running game going in the first half. Kevon Lee, Nicholas Singleton, Katron Allen, and Devin Ford, all part of that backfield, a good mix. And again, using a plethora of different receivers. Mitch Tinsley with a great Penn State debut, 7 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Purdue obviously made some big plays of its own, both through the air and on the ground, but a back-and-forth affair as Penn State and Purdue open up the season here under the lights on a Thursday night, the first ever Thursday night game in program history. But offensive and defensive plays. Here's Clifford in the second quarter. The Nittany Lions finished the first half strong. Clifford showing his legs, great dive, great effort for the first down as Penn State here trying to come from behind, down 10-7 at this point. Checks it down here. Brenton Strange over the middle. Strange picks up another first down to extend the drive. Then Nicholas Singleton, who had a terrific debut here, helping push the pile. Clifford on 2nd and goal, takes it across the goal line, and Penn State, Clifford, Strange, Allen, Singleton, the offensive line And the offensive line and the running game in the first half helped set up the play action pass, and Penn State's passing game really fed off that. Penn State led 14-10. Purdue driving at the end of the second quarter. Ball punched out by Zachy Wheatley, and Joey Porter Jr. staying in bounds comes up with the fumble recovery. Purdue going in, looked like they had a chance to take the lead before the half. Nittany Lions get the ball back, and Sean Clifford goes to work. Buying time, rolling out, pointing downfield. Brenton Strange along the sideline, makes the catch, stays in bounds, fights off a couple of tackles. Brenton Strange takes it to the half, and Penn State at the end of the opening half goes into the locker room with a 21-10 lead. Great momentum going into the locker room. And now here's Drew Aller coming in as Clifford had to leave the game for a little bit, banged up. Aller making his Penn State debut. So many freshmen getting into the Penn State lineup here tonight for the first time, with Aller and Singleton, Amari Evans, Katron Allen offensively. Penn State, though, stalled out there, and then Purdue. Aiden O'Connell had a terrific start to the second half. Third quarter belonged to the Boilermakers. Purdue there retakes the lead 24-21. O'Connell then this time under pressure, brought down by the Penn State defense, and the Penn State defense in the fourth quarter gave the offense an opportunity to come back in this game, forcing a 3-and-out, finally getting to O'Connell. Kalen King, Joey Porter Jr., Johnny Dixon on the outside, a tremendous game. Offense with an opportunity here to go down, take the lead again. Keandre Lambert-Smith breaks a tackle, racing towards the goal line. Lambert-Smith scores, and Penn State retakes the lead at that point, but not done yet. Purdue now in front again. Late fourth quarter, throwing downfield. Daquan Hardy gets his hand in there, breaks it up, and Penn State with the pass breakup gets one more chance with just over 2 minutes left in the game. Here's Clifford to Tinsley on the outside. Tinsley down the sideline, stays in bounds. 1:20 on the clock, and the clock is winding. Clifford, again, pump fakes, waits, throws over the middle. Tyler Warren shakes off the hit, takes it down to the 10, and then Clifford with the wheel route. Penn State fans love the wheel route. Kevon Lee on the money inside the pylon. Touchdown Penn State, and Penn State retakes the lead on this beautiful wheel route throw from Clifford to Kevon Lee. 4 different players with a touchdown reception tonight. Beautiful touch pass over the top of the defense, stays in bounds, and Lee gives Penn State the lead 34-31. Jake Pinniger attacks on the extra point, makes it a 4-point game. Purdue needs a touchdown, and at the end, the defense again rises to the occasion. Chop Robinson off the end, hits O'Connell, knocks him down. The ball comes free, and Penn State prevails with a 35-31 victory. Head coach James Franklin will join us in just a little bit. Joey Porter Jr. anticipated that he'll still join us here on the show. And we appreciate everyone tuning into the Unrivaled Postgame Show. I'm looking down at my phone right now, 12:30 Eastern time. What a long game between Penn State and Purdue to kick off this 2022 Penn State football season. I'll take them if they're all like this. While we have a moment, let's give you some reminders as Penn State opens up its home schedule against Ohio. 2022 tickets are still available. Go to ticketmaster.com/Penn State. You don't want to miss it, especially if every game's like this. You want to be a part of the action. We can't wait to see you in Beaver Stadium this season. And don't forget mobile ticketing again this season. Mobile tickets for all home games. Make sure you download your mobile tickets to your Apple Wallet or Google Pay on your phone in advance of game day. And make sure also you download the new Penn State app for this season. So if you had the app prior to April of last year, delete that app, re-download a new app, and on that app you can get your Penn State football tickets for the home opener coming up against Ohio next week. Also, as you know, when you're coming to the stadium, you need to follow your route. Parking and traffic, our football game day pattern will be in place once again this season. If you need more information, please visit gopsusports.com/game day. Our bag policy updated this year as well, as we run through a couple of bullet points that you need to know for the 2022 Penn State football season at Beaver Stadium. There's a look at the bags that you can bring into Beaver Stadium. 12 by 6 by 12 or smaller, clear tote bag. Obviously, your 11 by 11 resealable 1-gallon bag also still permissible this year. The small clutch or wristlet is allowed inside the stadium, not permitted. Anything there listed on your screen. And the complete bag policy can be found at gopsusports.com, as this is not only in place for Beaver Stadium, but all events across the Penn State campus this year. So whether you're going out to the BJC, Rec Hall for some volleyball this fall, Pagula Ice Arena in the winter, this is our bag policy for all of our facilities at Penn State. And don't forget, coming up, the 10th, it's the home opener against Ohio. Penn State then on the road at Auburn. Challenging schedule to start the year. 2 of the first 3 on the road. And not only do they improve to 1-0 tonight with a 35-31 victory over Purdue, they improved to 1-0 in the Big Ten, opening up on the road again to start a conference season. And this type of win, especially in the fashion in which Penn State won this game, really can set the tone moving forward for the rest of the season. So there's a look at the 2022 Penn State football schedule. Again, Purdue in the books late night here on this Thursday, the first ever Thursday game. Penn State wins it 35-31, the final score. Looking through some of the final stats here, Penn State 406 total yards of offense, 98 on the ground, 308 through the air. Sean Clifford 20 for 37 to open up the season, 4 touchdowns, just 1 interception, 282 yards, and he was able to bounce back from that interception, which was a pick 6. Comes back and leads the game-winning drive, as you would expect from a 6th-year quarterback at the end of the game. Drew Aller in his Penn State debut went 2 for 4 through the air with 26 yards. On the ground, Penn State, Katron Allen, 8 carries, 31 yards. Kevon Lee, 9 carries, 30 yards. Nicholas Singleton, 9 carries for 22 yards in his Penn State debut. Sean Clifford really not a factor on the ground in this game. And then the Penn State wide receivers, Clifford did a great job of spreading the ball around. Clifford finding Mitch Tinsley for a team-high 7 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Lambert Smith came back, really put this game together down the stretch. Shook off a slow start, 4 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Tyler Warren, 3 receptions, 23 yards. 2 catches, 77 yards for Brenton Strange and a touchdown. Washington, 2 receptions, 30 yards. Kevon Lee, 2 catches, 15 yards. One of those 2 catches, a touchdown, the game-winning touchdown as Penn State defeats Purdue 35-31. And then that defense found a way in the second half to slow down Aiden O'Connell and that Purdue passing attack right there before half. Joey Porter Jr. hopping on the big turnover. Zachy Wheatley, who had a tremendous spring and a tremendous camp in fall, the Penn State turnover king in camp, knocked it out. Joey Porter Jr. jumps on that football. So you're seeing players both young and old rising to the occasion tonight. But there's Porter hopping on that football. So Penn State finishes the first half strong, then finishes the second half strong as well. Always a message from head coach James Franklin to make sure that you finish the game strong and they can carry that momentum into last week. Here's a look at the game-winning scoring drive. Penn State gets it back with about 90 seconds left. Clifford, Mitchell Tinsley down the sideline, stays in bounds. Then Clifford here on a 2nd and 5 with 1:12 to play. The clock is ticking. Tyler Warren over the middle. Bangs off a couple of bodies, takes it down to the 10, then the wheel route to Kevon Lee as Penn State goes ahead in a back and forth affair tonight. Kevon Lee on the wheel route. Look at this play here. Clifford just talked about Purdue. 0 coverage all night long. What's that mean? There's no help over top. Floats it to Kevon Lee. Lee stays in bounds, makes the catch for the touchdown, and Kevon Lee and Penn State. That's the winning score in a 35-31 victory. In this tent right behind me, head coach James Franklin is addressing the media right now. He's going to be with us here in just a moment, and then we will probably say farewell. It's going to be a late night getting back to Happy Valley already. 12:35. Here's a look at Clifford's touchdown run tonight. And that's a team effort. That's a team effort right there. All started with the offensive line, gets the push from behind from Singleton and Allen and Strange, Clifford across the goal line, and Penn State had to rally in the beginning, had to rally in the end, and they pulled out a dramatic victory over Purdue. It's just the 3rd time here in the last decade playing in West Lafayette, and a Purdue team that won 9 games last year, and the Boilermakers last season, 9-4, the 2nd most wins in program history. And what a great battle between 2 terrific quarterbacks in Sean Clifford and Aiden O'Connell. And Clifford bouncing back after missing 1 series there in the 3rd quarter, came back and rallied his team in the 4th quarter. The defense, time and time again, coming up with a big stop and then finding a way, the offense, their last drive in rhythm, in tempo, throwing the ball down the field. Sean Clifford, obviously the big catch that we saw from Tinsley, Tyler Warren, and then punching it in with Kevon Lee. But I think the game plan from the get-going was to get some ground attack going, and Penn State was able to run the ball and get some push up front. And by running the ball successfully, that allowed them to utilize the play action game as well. And that play action game started to settle in the offense as both teams, again, it looked a little like week 1 early, but both teams eventually found their way. And this was a shootout. Big plays on both sides, especially when you have 2 teams this talented squaring off of Purdue, a 9-win team last year. The margin of error could be so small. And I look down at my notes. I have 4, 5, 6 plays starred here on my sheet. It always felt like that was going to be the swing play in the game. What would be the next big play? What would be the swing play that decided it? You can even look back, the end of the first half, Penn State took it into the locker room strong, but you have to give Purdue a lot of credit for their strong start to the second half. And then Penn State, the way that they were able to continue to get opportunities at the end of the game because of their defense to go down and score the winning touchdown. Here is Clifford on the move. Look at that throw by Sean Clifford down the sideline. Brenton Strange making the catch in open space. And part of the discussion coming into this game was to be aggressive, and that's what Penn State was. They were aggressive there late in the first half, and that gave them the opportunity to go down, score a touchdown, and take a 2-score lead going into halftime. And then they were aggressive at the end, throwing the ball with tempo, trying to get down the field, and eventually winning this one by a 35-31 final score. So here is Sean Clifford as head coach James Franklin joins us on set. And coach, ow.
Sorry, they didn't see that. I was beating
They didn't see that. Man, what a way to open the season. How did you describe this? Where do you even start in a game like this? Back and forth, the roller coaster. What was your message to the team afterwards?
Yeah, just character win, come on the road against a good Big Ten opponent. We didn't obviously, play a clean game. There's things that we can improve on. Could have had a ton of turnovers, I think, on defense. We got to capitalize on, but we made plays when we need to. Offensively, early on, it was either kind of 3 and out or touchdown. We got to be more consistent. There's no doubt about it. Really proud of Barney Amore. I thought he came in and did a great job. Proud of Sean. He cramped up, had to go in and get an IV and came back and battled. It wasn't pretty. But it was a win, and these are the type of, in my opinion, type of wins that you can really build a lot on from a character perspective in your locker room. I
know the message is always 1-0, but to go on the road in this environment, in a Big Ten game to start the season, how can this set a tone for your team moving forward?
Well, I think number one, you get a lot of confidence of winning a tough game like this and overcoming adversity. We played a ton of guys, so that's going to help us as well. Hopefully we'll be able to do that again next week. I hope all the fans back in Happy Valley, I saw a couple of videos, looks like they enjoyed it. There's probably a lot of fans that have a head like mine now. The hair all fell out. But it kind of reminds me of on the road win like we had at Iowa. Mm-hmm. And I think those types of wins, I think, really can set your program up and your team up for success moving forward.
When you have a guy who's been around like Sean Clifford, how does that impact a game late like this to know that he's been through these situations and his leadership pay off down the stretch?
Yeah, just a ton of experience, a ton of confidence. And those things matter in moments like that. The guys believe in him. He believes in himself. He battled through, got a personal foul penalty against him, cramped up, and found a way to come out there at a critical drive and do what we needed to do to get a win. So I'm proud of him. Wasn't always pretty. Obviously, the pick six is something that we got to get fixed. But besides that, pretty impressive.
We talked at halftime that there was a lot of complimentary football tonight, and your defense in the fourth quarter was able to rise to the occasion and get the offense opportunities at the end to score. How did you see that play out?
Yeah, that was huge. And I thought the other thing we did a good job of is we had all our timeouts at the end of the first half. We had all of our timeouts at the end of the second half, the end of the game. And our defense did what they needed to do to get off the field against a really challenging offense. They're gonna give people fits all year.
Well, you told me we had to keep this quick so we can get out of here.
Yeah, so we got to get out of here.
I'll let you go.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations. Thanks so much. Great way to open up the season. Penn State head coach James Franklin with us here post-game as the Nittany Lions defeat Purdue 35-31 here in the season opener. 35-31 the final score. Let's take a look one last time at that Penn State football schedule for the rest of the season here in 2022. The home opener is against Ohio next. Take a look at that schedule there. And then Penn State back into Big Ten play against Northwestern on October the 1st against the Wildcats at Beaver Stadium. So Penn State comes out of here surviving a 35-31. What a dramatic way to win on opening night. Brian Tripp now joined by cornerback Joey Porter Jr. And man, what's the feeling in the locker room after a game like that?
Oh man, it was a good win. It was a close one, but we got it. So that makes the victory even better. Just got to celebrate with the teammates right now and just enjoy the moment. You're not going to get a lot of moments like this. So yeah, we're soaking it in right now.
I know the message is always 1-0, but I just asked Coach, how can this type of win in this environment against a team like Purdue help you guys moving forward?
Just showed us that we got grit. I mean, we wasn't winning the whole game, and it showed us that we could fight with the best of them, and that's what we're going to do, continue to fight.
How do you handle a game like this on the sideline when emotions are high, then low, high, then low, high, then low? What's going through your head? How do you stay even keel so that way the focus remains the same?
Just trusting my teammates and trusting the coaches. I mean, we got a game plan. We got to stick to it. And that was the biggest thing coming into the game. We was like, we're going to make mistakes, but you know what? We got to be the team that make less mistakes. So, we just got to keep going and trust the coaches and trust the process.
Take me through your first game of the year. Where do you feel like you were a part of so many pass breakups and they continue to throw your way? Were you surprised at all?
No, I'm never surprised. I always got to do better and work on my craft. So I love to work. Shoot, they want to keep throwing it my way, then we're going to do it. But, first game, first little jitters, but we got them out the way. We're going to keep balling.
What was important for your defense down the stretch to continue to get the stops against a quarterback and an offense that can throw the ball with that efficiency to get your offense an opportunity to come from behind?
Stop the verts. They're a vertical team. They like to throw it down the field. So we just know take the vertical away. They really couldn't do much. They tried to hit us with the slants early on in the game, and we adapted to that. And once we took that away, it was really nothing.
You going to sleep tonight?
I'm going to sleep on this plane. I'm about to eat some good food, lay down, and then, we're going to be right back at it tomorrow. So, I'm going to sleep a little bit.
What's your message to Penn State fans who sat through this one and rode the highs and lows with you guys all night long?
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. I know it was a tough one, but we got the dub for y'all. So we're going to take this back to our home, and we're going to do the same thing, get this win.
Joey, appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks so much.
Of course.
Congrats.
Shout out, Mom. Love y'all. Love you, Dad.
Joey Porter Jr., great way to wrap it up here tonight on our Unrivaled postgame show from Purdue. 35-31 the final. The Nittany Lions victorious. Great work by Ross producing this broadcast back in our studios tonight. But 35-31 the final. Penn State over Purdue. We're back at home to open up the home slate against Ohio. It's a Saturday game next Saturday against the Bobcats to open up the home schedule. And as we sign off here, we're going to flash up those reminders one last time so you know what the deal is when you come out to Beaver Stadium this year. Get your tickets, mobile tickets, download the app, all that good stuff. Thanks for tuning in tonight to our Unrivaled postgame show from Purdue. I'm Brian Tripp saying so long. We'll talk to you after the home opener next week at home from Beaver Stadium.